Your value is not a score to be earned or a prize to be defended. It is the ground you stand upon. It was there before you took your first step, and it will remain long after your last. Welcome back, friends. Have you ever felt the relentless sting of an inner voice that tells you are not enough, that your mistakes define you, or that you must push yourself to the brink to earn your worth? It is a heavy burden, a shadow that whispers doubts, leaving us feeling exhausted and perpetually inadequate. We often believe this harsh inner critic is a necessary motivator, a guard dog protecting us from failure. But what if we told you there is another way? A path not of resistance or battle, but of profound kindness and gentle understanding, a way to transform this internal struggle into a source of inner peace and strength. In a quiet monastery, a Zen monk sat in deep meditation, seeking the calm stillness within. Suddenly, a terrifying demon materialized before him, its eyes blazing with fury, its presence radiating chaos. This creature was determined to shatter the monk's peace, a manifestation of every fear, doubt, and destructive impulse that could arise from the depths of the mind. The demon roared, thrashing, demanding to be acknowledged, to be feared, to be fought. It was a potent symbol of the intense, unsettling voices we all carry within, those parts of us that seem to wage war against our own tranquility. Yet, the monk did not flinch, did not raise a hand in defense, nor did he shrink in terror. Instead, with a heart rooted in ancient wisdom, he looked at the demon with an unwavering gaze, free from judgment. He calmly invited it to sit beside him, not as an enemy, but as a guest. He offered a warm cup of tea and, in a voice as gentle as a morning breeze, simply asked, "What do you truly need, friend?" Through this radical act of acceptance, of turning towards discomfort with kindness rather than resistance, the demon's ferocious energy began to soften. It spoke of its hunger, its longing for connection, for understanding. As the monk listened, truly listened, the demon's form either transformed into a gentle ally or simply dissolved, leaving behind a profound stillness and an even deeper peace. This timeless tale whispers a powerful truth that resonates deeply within our souls. What we push away often grows stronger, more insistent. As Carl Jung wisely observed, what you resist, persists. We learn that our inner critics, like that demon, often carry unmet needs, a longing to be seen and understood. When we bravely choose compassion over conflict, we open a path for healing and integration. Consider Magdalena Kala, a Master of Business Administration student whose journey through self-criticism once felt like a relentless battleground within. She openly shared how, in moments where she perceived herself to fall short, her inner voice would not just criticize, but demand punishment. She recounted instances where she felt compelled to physically harm herself, driven by a deeply ingrained belief that suffering was the only pathway to atone for her perceived shortcomings. This was not just a quiet whisper of doubt, it was a loud, demanding inner judge that left her feeling bruised and depleted, convinced that kindness toward herself was a luxury she could not afford. Magdalena's transformation began when she bravely turned toward these raw, intense emotions. She learned to pause, to acknowledge her feelings of shame or inadequacy, not as weaknesses to be overcome, but as valid experiences to be felt. It was a journey of learning to speak to herself with the same warmth and understanding she would naturally offer to a dear friend facing a similar struggle. Slowly, deliberately, she began to replace that harsh inner critic with a supportive inner coach. This shift was not about ignoring her flaws, but about approaching them with a gentle hand, understanding that genuine growth blossoms from a place of self-kindness, not self-punishment. Magdalena's story shows us the courage it takes to bring compassion to our most vulnerable places. It echoes the profound wisdom of Jack Kornfield: if your compassion does not include yourself, it is incomplete. True healing, we discover, is not about silencing the critical voices, but about changing the way we relate to them, cultivating a boundless compassion that extends inward. Friends, our journey through these stories reveals a powerful, liberating truth. Your value is not a score to be earned or a prize to be defended, it is the very ground you stand upon. It was there before you took your first step, and it will remain long after your last. True self-compassion is the courageous act of turning towards your inner critic with kindness, transforming its demands into a gentle dialogue that reveals its unmet needs. We have seen how meeting resistance with acceptance, and harshness with understanding, can dissolve the power of internal conflict and invite profound peace. So, how can we carry this wisdom into our daily lives? Begin by simply noticing that critical voice without judgment. When it arises, pause, breathe, and ask yourself, what does this part of me truly need? Offer yourself the same comfort, patience, and understanding you would a cherished friend. It is a practice, a gentle return to self, time and time again. Now that you have begun to unearth your authentic self and embrace your unique glitches, learning to nurture that precious self with kindness, your journey continues. If you found solace in these stories and are ready to take the next step in befriending your inner landscape, we invite you to visit our previous journey on discovering your authentic self. It is a gentle reminder that your imperfections are a masterpiece, and cultivating self-compassion is the next beautiful chapter in self-love. Let us continue to grow together.